Binge the full week ad-free over at patreon.com/inspireddisorder.
What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.
This is my top 5 pet peeves. The things that annoy me. A list of annoying things that I have to deal with in my life. Of course, this list would have been different maybe if I made it a year ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago as a child. But it does encapsulate things that have annoyed me through different parts of my life currently. Starting off with number 5. My number 5 thing that annoys me, my pet peeve, is being called big guy. I've had many different sizes and body shapes over the years, but this tends to be something that, a lot of it I spent overweight. And being called big guy, there's just like this tone to it that for whatever reason I've never liked it. It's always like people who are older than me really calling me big guy. I guess later on in life, I would get it from people who are of a similar age. But growing up, it was always from adults, and it's like it's like them being nice in greeting you. Like if they were to greet you like, "Hey, fat kid," right? They're just like being nice about it. They're saying "big guy." Do not like it to this day. And I still get it to this day. But it is what it is. But that is my top 5 pet peeves. I mean, I've learned to live with these things because I realize that people, maybe they just don't know they're being assholes or annoying, but big guys definitely had to be added to the list. So my number 4 pet peeve is listening to people chew or eat. It's something that just drives me insane. I hear it so much on podcasts, which is insane to hear somebody eat on a podcast, because you know how long you're going to be podcasting, and the need for food during the audio recording of, whether you're doing a 10-minute episode, an hour episode, you could be doing like a 3-hour long episode with Joe Rogan, and there's no need. There is zero need for you to be eating unless the show is about eating. Right? Like for whatever reason, listening or watching to Hot Ones, which, you wouldn't listen to that one, but you watch Hot Ones where they eat spicy wings. I'm fine with that. But listening to a podcast about anything and then somebody breaking out food to chew on mic, because it's the sound of chewing. It's one of those like negative ASMR things where it just makes my skin crawl. It doesn't happen too often in person. I mean, it would have to be the only time a time when it like really stood out that I can remember. I mean, I'm sure it's happened many times in my life. But it was a girlfriend, and she woke up before me, and she decided to eat cereal next to me in bed. Like she wasn't in bed, but she was sitting like her chewing was right next to my ear, and it was the most like it was like I just it drives me insane. So the biggest problem I have with it is when people think it's okay to do on a podcast. It's like by far the most unprofessional podcasting thing people do. And it's insane how many times it's a host eating. And it's like, you can wait. You can literally, you're not going to die. Even if you do like a marathon length podcast, you will be okay. Or just stop the recording altogether. Eat your food if you're like going to pass out or something. Or turn your mic off. Don't eat in the mic. Anyway, number 4, obviously, you can tell I'm not a fan. Number 3 drives me insane. My number 3 pet peeve, right? I've been driving, pre-pandemic, for the past few years. I've been surviving on driving Uber and Lyft, delivering food like Postmates. And it's so mind-blowing how many people don't use turn signals. And it's usually people who don't use turn signals are also driving like nobody else is on the road in general anyway. They feel the need to drive as fast as possible to the next red light. Um, it's just it's like the biggest like the it's like it would almost be like a pre-qualifier for somebody being an anti-masker. Like it's that same kind of just like just not caring whatsoever about the safety of others around you. Because the reason why you signal is not to necessarily protect yourself, even though, yeah, I could if I'm not paying attention and you just cut me off, then yeah, I could definitely cause you some harm. But it's to signify to people who are around you that you want to get over so they can properly give you space. You know, it's like a complete disregard to other people's safety or the people that have a problem with the turn signal. It's insane. It drives me insane. So that's my number 3, the no turn signals. Like I think it's really a big character. It's really shows kind of the person you are, the character you are to not use a turn signal. It's crazy. Okay. My number 2 pet peeve is being asked a question and the person asking the question not paying attention to the answer. Like they just ask the question to hear their own voice, and then while I'm saying something, they could be listening, but they're not showing me the attention of listening. Like they ask me a question and then they're busy doing other stuff, like they're going to multitask while they're listening to me or whatever. But yeah, just somebody going through the trouble to ask me a question. And maybe this stems from working in sales. I used to work at Costco selling electronics for a decade. Definitely one of the things, other than people asking me a question and then disagreeing with my answer, like they know what they're talking about. It's like, don't ask me the question if you quote unquote know the answer. But people asking me a question and not even like acknowledging as I answer is it drives me insane. It's like I hate my time being wasted, and that's like one of the biggest like insults in some ways. It really drives me nuts. But the thing that really drives me nuts, the number one thing that drives me nuts, my number one pet peeve out of my top 5, the number one thing is when I'm watching a movie with somebody and that person is quoting the movie as and it's to a point where they're quoting or it could be like spoiling a movie. It's like they're saying the words before the actors do, and I'm hearing them say the words more than the actors are. Or it's like, "Oh, watch this. Ooh, it's gonna be, like they blurt out stuff." I mean, talking during a movie is horrible anyway, but this is like the worst form of talking during a movie, right? This is by far the worst form of it because this can happen in a movie theater. It can happen while you're at home. It happens with people that you're friends with. It happens from people that you're family with, right? It could be you're on a date with somebody and they're showing you a movie that they love and you're seeing it for the first time, but you can't actually watch the movie because the audio track is being covered up by their commentary, this echo of the dialogue, because they want to show off that they know it so well, I guess. I don't know. I don't know the mentality of it. It's probably not their fault, but like it's horrible. It's like it completely ruins the I mean, just it ruins the movie, but it's like, why am I even watching a movie? Like I'm not watching a movie. I'm 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 looking at pictures on a screen being interrupted by you sitting next to me. By far the thing that I mean, because I love movies and you're ruining an experience during the experience is just mind blowing. And it's like, and I think some of it comes from people wanting to like feel knowledgeable about a thing, but they're doing like the lowest Like the lowest hanging fruit of knowledge is to just quote a thing that you've watched a bunch of times, spoiling scenes that are going to happen. But yeah, that's my number one. Quoting slash spoiling a movie during the movie is it's just like, what are we even doing here? My number two is being asked a question and not listening to the answer. Number three is not using a turn signal while you're driving. Number four is listening to people eat slash chew, specifically on a podcast. Number five is somebody calling me big guy, referring to me as big guy. Those are my top 5 pet peeves. Let me know what pisses you off in the comments below. Let me know if you agree, disagree. I don't care. But I hope everybody is avoiding all of their pet peeves today and having a good day. Get yourself 2 free audiobooks through Audible when you go through my link, inspireddisorder.com/audible. That gives you 1 free book per month if you stay with the service, but 2 free books when you sign up through my link, inspireddisorder.com/audible. Get your books, get Audible originals, guided wellness programs, news, and so much more. Get your 2 free books now when you sign up through my link, inspireddisorder.com/audible. New episodes of The Ray Taylor Show come out every single day. Subscribe on IGTV, YouTube, and everywhere else podcasts are found. Binge the full week ad-free over at patreon.com/inspireddisorder. Buy Ray Taylor Show merch over at inspireddisorder.com and follow the show on Instagram at Ray Taylor Show. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Peace out!